my goodness.
Hello, everyone.
Guys, welcome. And thank you so much for joining us for this very, very special live event with none other than Kitten and Meredith from the Animal Communication Collective. And today they are going to be giving us and you guys at the same time some great information answer some questions about this beautiful little kitten that we recently found after the death of our two boys, Pooh Bear and Twist. So I'll tell you guys a little backstory in a second, but let's start with an introduction.
For anyone who has been living under a large rock and has not yet met you two beautiful souls, Karen, let's start with you.
Oh gosh. Okay. Hi, you guys. Hi, everyone. It's so good to be back. We're so excited for this. I'm Karen Dendy-Smith. I am one of the founders of the Animal Communication Collective. I'm an animal communicator, soul-level intuitive coach, Chinese medicine Qigong teacher, and energy work person. And I work with people and animals. And together, Meredith and I have kind of founded and built the Animal Communication Collective over the last few years, which is our fundraising arm of what we privately do for people, which is animal communication. And we are so thrilled to be here to talk to this little fluff muffin.
Fluff Muffin! Yes, she's a Fluff Muffin.
A nickname.
Meredith.
Hi, I'm Meredith Tollison. I work with Karen as well as co-director of the Animal Communication Collective. I'm a soul level animal communicator, a soul level intuitive coach, a small business owner and entrepreneur. I do animal Reiki as well as some human Reiki, dog training on the side. But this is my passion. Working with people, connecting with their animals is my passion. And love working with Adrienne and Jay and this amazing community that you've built around the two crazy cat ladies. Can't wait to meet this little girl and see what she's got to say tonight.
Oh, we're so excited and even a little bit nervous. Like we were talking beforehand, we were like kind of nervous about this. I don't know why I feel nervous.
I think for the past couple of weeks, we've just been like, what is going on?
Yeah.
What is going on?
Yeah. So quick backstory for anybody watching or listening that has not been following us for a while and doesn't know the story. Back at the end of January, we very suddenly and tragically lost our 12-year-old orange tabby Pooh Bear. It was a complete shock out of the blue. Very quickly after that, our 19-year-old Oliver Twist, who was our basically like our soul cat, had been with us for over 17 years. He basically died of grief, right? So he also took a sudden decline, and in about a month ago, he passed away as well. We were pretty distraught, if like to say the least, for a while, or we have been for a while. And a week and a half ago, we were out on a bike ride in our neighborhood to go to a cafe for Sunday brunch, and we happened upon this kitten, which never happens to us. I know a lot of you guys, this happens a lot. You just, find kittens here and there. This doesn't happen to us where they just like show up on the side of the road. This little kitten, we knew she had a home. She had a collar on that was way too tight. So we took it off, but she had a little collar on and she was beautiful and she was shivering in fear. We brought her home. We looked all over, tried to posted everywhere, tried to find her home, and no one has claimed her.
We did bring her to the vet. We had her scanned for a chip, all that jazz, and no one came forward, which is really kind of just sad because this beautiful little being.
No, it's not sad.
No, but also such a blessing. So we're left with so many questions. Left with all of these questions of, one, like how the heck, like she looks a whole lot like Oliver Twist. When we saw that tail of hers, we were like, what in the world? That's the exact same tail as Oliver Twist.
Our VIPs know this, but before we actually consulted another animal communicator other than these two beautiful. One of our VIPs said it best though, kind of to affirm that I know, right? To affirm the message in a way to meet.
We just Googled someone and
to meet with Oliver Twist.
Found
we
him.
did. Michael Burke, I believe his name is. He is all over the place as well. And he said, Jay asked, "Is Oliver Twist going to come back to us?" And he said that's there is a possibility for that, not necessarily the door is open for that, but it's not necessarily anything in the near future. He would like send, how did he
He
say
said
it?
something about sending a twin flame first.
Yeah.
And I don't know what that is, but we've already told the girls that. Now we have a lot of other things, or a few other things at least, that we have not told you lovely ladies about, and we have not told you beautiful community about yet. But we're going to hold off on that because I know that, you know, every time we go live, you guys say less information is better, less information is better. So at the end of this, after we connect with Annie, Olivia, Annie Bell, Annie, Orphan Annie is what we're calling her. Then I'll tell you guys a little bit more about what's been going down since we last spoke. But thank you, girls, so much for joining us and for doing this with us and for us, because we want to know where she came from. What, like was she sent from above? She's like, wait. You know, the questions, like, is she supposed to be here? I mean, I feel like a lot of this is going to be affirming, especially to you guys. We get like hundreds of DMs a day, and they're all saying, yes, she was sent to you. Yes, she was, you know, so everybody is like on board. And I believe, you know, we kind of feel the same way, but we just want to know, right? Like, you don't know these things when these situations happen. You don't know until you consult the woo-woo. So we're bringing on the woo-woo. Let's figure it out.
Oh my God. That is so funny. Well, okay, ladies, just a little reminder, just a little confirmation. Remember when we were talking to Oliver Twist in spirit, and he, before I knew about this other person and what they said, he was also saying to me, 2.5 to 3 years, he may come back if needed in order to help move you forward in the direction you need to go with where you're going with your work with animals. So he also said that. So I was very excited to hear that the other communicator also had said the same thing. And also he had suggested that there may be somebody that predecessed him.
Yeah.
Yep.
Predecessed his, right? And so this is going to be really interesting to talk to little Miss Annie Bell, Olivia.
It's mind blowing.
What she has to say tonight.
Okay, we're going to hand it over to you guys let's all get in the space.
All right.
Oh my gosh, you guys. All right.
So we're going to share with you all today what we usually do behind the scenes, but because this community has rallied so much around the sweet little girl and you guys, we want to include you all in this mantra meditation that we do to kind of pull us all together as an energetic community with one big heart to support our intuitiveness and our connection with Annie Bell, Olivia, and to kind of like surround this reading with lots of love from the community. So this is what we do behind the scenes. So we're just going to take a couple of deep breaths. It's called energy management for everybody who wants to help us amplify this energy. We're just going to take a couple of deep breaths in through our noses, down into our abdomens. And as we breathe out, send that breath down our legs and out the soles of our feet to get us grounded. As we do this, we call on all of the loving energy of the universe to support us in this community. And we say, take kindness and benevolence as basis. Take frankness and friendliness to heart. Speak with reason. Treat with courtesy. Act with emotion. Accomplish results. As we open that healing and loving and supportive gate of energy from the universe, we imagine all of our hearts coming together as one tonight. This beautiful community that supports you both and sweet little Annie. And we ask that as we all convene together as one heart, that all of the information that comes through tonight is for your best and highest good and the good of all, and continues to evolve and heal all hearts and souls, and build a deeper bond and clearer communication between you all and Annie Bell. So as we do that, we invite Annie Bell's soul to come forward and connect with us as well. And Meredith and I are going to just get quiet for a minute and allow her energy to come in. And she's basically going to take over and start to share what she feels is most important for you guys to know tonight. And then we can start to ask her some questions. Okay? All right. So let's just take a moment. Call this sweet, precious girl in. You want to go first, Meredith?
Yeah, just in terms of touching base, first of all, with her personality. Now, this backdrop, y'all, that looks like a 1980s school photograph with the bling bling in the background. But ever since we sat down in front of this screen tonight, I've been seeing her literally like in a roller skating competition. Backwards skating, there's some Joan Jett playing or something. She's chomping on some gum. And she is rocking it in this skating rink. I don't know what this sort of 80s connection is, but loving it. She's rocking it, but I'm feeling from her a fear to do the do you guys remember the movie Ice Castles about the ice skater? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Well, there was a fear of doing this like crazy jump, twist, triple axel thing. I know nothing about any of this except backward skating to Joan Jett. But she's showing me this kind of cool, funky, older soul, like connecting with my preteen age, which would be kind of close to yours. Yeah, I don't know what any of that's about, but I just got to share it. If it comes to me, I share it. But she is kicking it on the roller skating floor right now.
And for me, the way she came in was this really bright light, like really pure bright light. I almost was like, wow, you're like a little angel in a cat body, because it's just so honest and pure. And she's just so happy to be here and to finally, like, to have found you guys. So it's just like this, she has this energy about her, this brightness. And maybe this is kind of like ties in with the ice skating thing, but there's just like this really fun, bright, open, like character of hers that's just like, I'm here and I'm happy to be here.
Oh,
yeah.
But that the roller skating thing, those lights are flashing and changing, you know, when they get the strobes on and everything. There's something a little bit flashy about her.
Mm-hmm.
But looking into her eyes, in the picture that you posted on your Facebook page, I do see a little hesitation. Reluctance is the word that comes to mind, but I don't really know what that means. A little like, I love being here, but how do I move forward into this space? It feels, this one performer side of her is extremely confident, and the very personal, open side of her still feels a little uncertain. Does that make sense to you, ladies?
100%.
Yeah.
She has an innocence about her. And this could be, so what happens when we connect with these animals is we're getting their personality and the part of them that is conscious within the little body. And we're also getting information from the higher soul of the animal at the same time sometimes. So it's like I'm toggling with her. It's like I'm toggling back and forth between the kitten, and she's still a young girl. She's a very young girl. And so there's this innocence in her energy from being at that stage of development within her house, you know, her physical house. But there's also this really pure energy and soul kind of governing, you know, overseeing the part of her that's still a kitten. So it's like I see them side by side, which is really interesting because usually I don't come in full force equally with each other. But for me, it's like I'm seeing the soul version of her, and it's really big and bright. And then there's this like sweet version of her that's inside the cat body that's like, I'm here. Like more like what Meredith is saying.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
So I get the feeling from her that she can do absolutely anything. Like, she's like, look, I can fly. Look, I can leap tall buildings in a single bound. Look, she's showing me all of her special tricks and skills to show her ability, her competence, her surprising strength and buoyance. And what is this? There's a lot of leaping and a lot of up high. And she's like, I can do this. And look, I can do this. And I can do this. But then when she goes to sleep, she's like, oh, but did I do that well enough? Did I do that right? there's a sense of competition with self that I'm feeling pretty strongly here.
Mm.
Nobody's putting that on her. That's just her way that I'm feeling from it. And she's like, can I leap taller this time? Can I jump over this thing? There's a lot of excitement and enthusiasm and desire to show you all the things that she can do.
Yeah.
But then she lies into this. Ooh, was that enough? Did I do it okay?
And don't tell us yet. And there's this desire also to fit in. Like she's telling me, oh, I smell them. Like, and I know she's met some of them already. So, but she's like, oh, I smell them. And they are telling her what a great place this is.
Oh,
They're like giving her I actually think it's more Friday and Zorro that are kind of telling her, you're going to like it here. we got a cush life here. Yeah.
Like little orphan Annie.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna like it here. Whatever.
Yeah.
You remember that song?
Yes. Because I hear them say, and I'm getting all these chills on the top of my head. Her confirming, like, yeah, they're telling me I'm gonna like it here. Yeah.
So I wasn't completely convinced about Orphan Annie. I wasn't completely convinced. I love the the homage to Oliver Twist and the whole backstory there. But with that song, I'm seeing the little collar too tight on her, and she's like, oh, I got to get out of this. And the song they sing about a hard knock life and all of that in the Orphan Annie movie. And then she comes into Daddy Warbucks' home and everything is fabulous. So I'm seeing those changes, and that is settling in with me as, okay, now I get it.
Yeah. Now we get why Annie's the name. Yeah. And I have to say, full disclosure, from the very beginning, when you guys were first on, I heard Annie Bell before you guys even said it. I was like, oh, like, because there's something about her character that sparks things up. It's like ringing a little bell. Like she's ringing a bell to have you pay attention to things in a different way.
Well, and on her collar was a little bell. It had no name, no anything, but on that collar that we took off of her was a little bell.
Okay, so that I did not know. So that's super cool.
Yeah, so we were like, maybe Annie Bell.
Wow.
It's kind of stuck. It's been like, there's a lot of other names that we like personally like better, right? But this one just sticks. It just feels right.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I see what else she wants to tell us.
I really like that, Karen, about the little bell being like a little mindfulness bell. Ding, ding, ding. Okay, stop. And listen to Annie. What is she saying now? Because Oliver did that for you. Oliver Twist did that for you so much. He taught you so much. There's a whole nother level of learning that you're facing with this little beauty.
I know.
Oh,
I know.
There's so much.
Yep.
I'm good with personality. Karen, is there?
Yeah, I think I am too. I mean, she's got some feist. I think as she comes into her own, the way she definitely thinks she's all that. There's a part of her that is discovering that she's all that in a bag of chips.
Yes. Can I tell you guys?
Yes.
Like,
now you can tell us a little bit about
that for this one little piece. When so we've been swapping out sleeping in her room with her at night. And when I'm in there, and you said, Meredith, flying, she like flies around the room as soon as the lights go off, right? She's like pretty like sweet and lovey and stuff like that, but not like super zoomy or anything during the day. But as soon as that light goes off, she becomes this like flying squirrel is what I like, the only way I can explain. And she's bouncing off the walls. She's bouncing everywhere. And just like so super excited. And then, and I'll get to another piece in a minute, but she's scared to come out of her room though. She's, whenever we're like, okay, let's open the door and see, do you want to come? She gets real skittish. So it's like, she's super, all of this huge personality that is coming out more and more and more every day. And then we open the door and it's just like, no, but this is my safe space. No, but maybe I shouldn't go too far. So that 100% makes.
Yeah.
Even when the other babies are outside, like I'll open up the door when all the babies are having their outside time so she can kind of come out and see what's going on.
She'll go a few feet.
Yeah. So that whole
And
like
then run back in
reluctance
the
or
room.
just a hesitation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Makes sense.
I want to ask her, let's ask her about that, Meredith, a little bit. She'll share a little bit about how she's doing with getting acclimated and going out of her space. If there's anything that would be helpful for you guys to know.
So I immediately got the words in my head. It's the private rehearsal versus the live performance. There's some stage fright here. She's got this thing down, but now I have to do it in front of everyone else. Oh, yeah. Now I have to backwards skate in front of everyone else. I don't know what this roller skating competition thing is, but there's a feeling of that to me.
There's a part of this, though, that she's bringing me to. Usually they they don't really share a lot of details about their past unless it really is going to be helpful to you guys or some soul growth. But what she wants you to know is having complete freedom is not something she's really ever experienced. So for her, opening that door like that is it's not something she's used to. She's used to being in a particular space, in a particular way.
Gotcha.
And when she did have what she considered would be complete freedom, suddenly she was on her own.
Yeah.
So freedom, the wide open spaces, suddenly equated to reluctance. There's that word,
right.
Reluctance.
Yeah. And it goes back to what, when I'm, full disclosure, I honed in on her before this. And one of the things that I had picked up from her that she's reconfirming is when she was out in the open by that tree, there was some fear of like, what am I actually doing here? So even if she were, because she had on a collar, we know that she in some shape or form lived somewhere before she was just out in the wild on her own. But there was this sense from her of like, what am I doing out here in the complete open? I don't know how I got here. So even though she shows me, she may have lived somewhat outdoors in a area of someone's house, yard, maybe penned in area. What my sense is either she got out and got away on her own, or somebody just wasn't paying attention or just let her go. But there's something about having been in more of a confined space most of her little short life, and then the big open space and having freedom, like Meredith's saying, is just equating to being out in that wild open and going, wait a minute, if I go through this door, am I going back to that feeling again?
Yeah. That's precious.
It'll just take a little time for her to get used to it. And I think your kids will continue to say to her, it's going to be okay. You're going to be fine here.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
We're up for the challenge for sure.
Yeah.
I just keep hearing, yeah, she's got this. So I was sort of checking in with Pooh Bear and Oliver, like, they're holding space for this chat, this conversation. Like, anything you need to do here? And they're like, no, she's got this. Just give her time. She, a little patience and a little pat on the bum, okay, girl, you got this. And, and time.
Yeah. Did they have something to do with this? The way that we found her was, so unexpected. I mean, we wouldn't normally take that bike route, right? But we decided because there were trees that we wanted to see, that we were going to go this bike route. And like, it happened on a Sunday when we, so many things. It's just like, this isn't normal to,
right. Right.
So like, and it's never happened. Like, to us here in Vegas, it's never happened. So
do you really need us to answer that question for you?
I want to know, probably not, but it helps me feel better.
Yeah.
I need some reassurance. I'm a Libra.
I do not believe that coincidences like that are coincidences. I believe they are meant to be.
Yeah.
And have felt from the moment I knew that you guys found her, that
Yep.
Twist was somehow involved in this.
Yep.
Pooh Bear seems to be kind of sitting back going, I'm good. I'm good. I'll hold the space for you, but I'm not manipulating anything, you
Yeah.
know? And Twist is like, yeah, that one's all about
Yeah,
you.
he's like doing one of these to me. And I'm getting all these, like, I get confirmation through these physical chills. I don't know if anybody else who's watching may have some intuitive hits, but like for me physically, it's like I get like these kind of chills on the back of my head and down my neck from spirit when they're confirming a yes for me or a knowing. And I'm getting all these chills, and Oliver Twist is saying, I'm hearing him say, I told you. In my head.
I get them across like my torso, across my upper arms and shoulders, and it makes me go like this. And yes, I have that.
Yeah. And he's also he's calling her his soul sister.
I love the twin star thing. I don't know much about it, but it feels really nice.
Yeah. But he's calling her like his little soul sister.
Hey, sister, soul sister. Sorry.
Yeah.
Soul sister.
So I feel like, and you'll probably share this with us, but I feel like there's certain aspects of her personality or mannerisms or a twitch of her tail or the way she holds her left ear that you go, oh my God, that looks just like Oliver Twist.
So many things. So what I was going to share, and I think I shared with you guys, or one of you at least, a little bit of this.
That's why I'm not commenting on it, because you shared it with me.
Oh, I did. Okay.
You haven't shared it with me.
I haven't shared it with the community yet, but one of the first nights that I slept with her, it was the very first night that she went into flying squirrel mode, right? Bouncing off the walls, bouncing. And I was just laying there under the covers, like kind of praying that she doesn't land on my face, but then realizing that she's so precise and she's not going to land on my face. And then just giggling, because I'm like, she's so precious. Like this doesn't happen. And I'm not going to like try to grab my phone and turn on some light and record or anything. I'm just going to like sit here and like, this is fun. And then she laid down on this chest that's right beside the bed. And it was dark in the room. The only light was the street light coming in. And she just laid there and stared at me. She was looking directly at me, and I could just see her silhouette. She turned and looked out the window, and everything, even her size. She's tiny. Twist was a big boy. Even her size looked exactly like Oliver Twist. And I laid there and I started to tear up and cry a little bit and kind of talk to Oliver. I don't know what I was doing. I was just, saying like, I miss you and I love you. And she did this right at me, and then just stared at me and stayed like this. Now, for those of you guys that don't know much about Oliver Twist, and you see pictures, but we probably don't talk about it a lot, but he would always lay his paws like this. He was the most distinguished gentleman there is. Okay. And I probably have 155 pictures in my phone, because every time he would lay like this, I would come over and take a picture, and he would look right in the camera. He was like, yes. And it was just like his like signature, right? It was just like what he did. And Adrian and I, we said this afterwards to each other, but both of us in our heads were like, if he sent her, if she's meant to be here, all the ifs, then she'll cross her paws. And that'll be her sign, right? And she did that to me. And I just laid there, and we just locked eyes and stared at each other until I fell asleep. Oh. And it was the most beautiful thing ever. And I had to wait till I woke up to tell anybody, but I was like ready. I was like, I can't believe this is happening right now. But I just soaked it up and stayed in that moment. And it was until I fell asleep, and it was so beautiful. And I wonder if somebody actually DM'd us and said, do you know what a soul walk-in is? And I was like, is he like, and I don't know how all of it works, but like, did he come? Like, was he sending a sign? Was he here with me? Was I like, hi, what is it? Like that?
So the way that he showed it to me was he's in collab. He definitely delivered her, like he said he would. They have an energetic. I don't know how to say it. They have an energetic similarity between the two of them. They are the way that he's showing it to me is the soul connection between the two of them is very strong. So there is a part of him and her that can blend so that he can come through to you guys. And she's in his lineage of energy is the way that he's saying it to me right now. I don't know what words to use. He's saying in his energetic lineage, they are connected. And so it's easy for him to connect with her and get to you guys. And she's very willing to do it. And so there's like these it's like, this is him, this is her, but there's a point at which they can go like this so that he can kind of give you messages with and through her. That's the way it looks to me. How does that look to you, Meredith?
Well, I'm hearing he's not controlling her.
Right.
Like he's showing me a puppet thing. He's not controlling her, but she's very open as a conduit.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of the same way that Karen and I do this work, just we deliver the messages. So she's very open and he's able to get his signs through her to you.
Mm-hmm.
And part of that's because that's how you are open to receiving them right now.
Yeah.
And that just works.
Mm-hmm.
Now I have to laugh a little bit at how distinguished Twist was, sitting like an elegant man, because I'm feeling like she is not going to be distinguished in any way whatsoever. Like, and now I'm seeing the visual image of, a beautiful model walking down the runway and then her heel breaks and she falls off the runway. Like she's presenting herself as this beautiful, elegant, I'm distinguished like Twist is too. And then she, turns around and belches real loudly or something. There's a little bit of a not rough side, a little bit of an unpolished side to her that she is embracing. She's like, I can look all distinguished, but I'm still going to be me. I'll still probably use foul language and, maybe drink beer out of the bottle. Rather than
Totally our kind of girl.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mine too, honey. Mine
you know how
too.
she showed it to me, Meredith, when you were talking about that? Who's the wrestler that turned into an actress and she was on oh my God, what's her name? She can be really beautiful and but she's really fit, like an athlete, and she's been on a bunch of TV shows at this point. Paula something. What's her name? Somebody in the chat will remember. She was on Entourage also way back in the day.
Yeah.
Do you know who I mean? Anyway, she's showing me like I have complete control of my movements, but then I can be kind of like a truck if I want to be.
So she's going to get along with Jack really well too.
Yeah.
How big do you think she's going to be? I think she's growing really fast.
She's
like
got skis. Yeah.
They are
skis.
Huge.
Yeah.
Huge. When she
Wow.
finally came out of the little canoe thing that day that we found her, we didn't even know if her legs could work. We didn't know if she was just sitting there because she was hurt or something. She comes out, man, and her feet are just huge. And then that tail just kept coming.
Yeah.
It's
okay, I just have to say thank you to Pippin Bentley. Thank you. It's Ronda Rousey.
Ronda Rousey.
I feel like Ronda Rousey.
Thank you, Pippin.
nice.
Yep.
She also feels a little like the those days, we're going back to the 80s so hard, y'all. This must be where I am today. The girls all had their growth spurt and shot up this tall, and the boys were all still this tall, and you're at the middle school dance swaying. She feels like that awkwardly tall. I was the tallest girl in my 5th grade class, and y'all have never seen me except from here up, but I'm 5'1", and all of the other girls are now like, 5'10", 5'11". I just started early. But you know exactly what I'm saying. Like that sort of Black Beauty, Bambi on the ice, like grows so fast. She doesn't, I feel like she's going to grow very, very quickly, and it's going to take her a minute to get her coordination back. Like, wow, I've got these skis on my feet. Now let me figure out how to work them. You know what I mean? So you're going to be looking at some awkward teenage years is what it feels like to me.
Yay.
I have a quick question. You said that they don't usually share anything about their past unless it's something that's helpful to us.
Yes.
And I think there's a nagging question. I think I'm just looking for confirmation.
Okay.
Because I know for me, there's a part, we posted her everywhere. We were sure, we stayed at the lake until we were almost freezing to death by the tree. Because we were sure that it was going to be as quick as like finding a tag and calling
There were
someone.
houses nearby, so we thought
letting
she's
them
probably
come.
just like in
Yeah.
one of these houses. And
So I think I just want to confirm. Oh, hey, baby girl.
hi,
Hi,
Friday.
That is there anything that we need to know about her past, or is this really? There's a human part of me that because we've put her out there everywhere, that it's hard for me to emotionally just really sink into all of this with everything that's been going on.
Yep.
For fear of somebody saying, "Oh, that's my cat."
Like, yeah, I mean, we're going on almost 2 weeks, but if she did come from a place where they may not even notice, I don't know. Is there anything that we need to know about moving forward together?
All I need to know is, was she happy where she was? And it doesn't sound like she was. She was confined.
Well,
I don't get that she was happy where she was as much as she was just living where she was. There's something about, I can't tell if the people moved or she left or she got left, but there's something around a surprise separation to her. But also, Meredith, I don't know what, I'm picking up something really strange about her mother, like the cat mother, as well, being like just kind of separated from the cat mom in a way that was surprising to her as well.
I'm not picking up anything specifically about her cat mom. And honestly, when I asked to show like a house and the family that lived there, it's just gray and smoky. Like there's nothing there. And I keep getting really hung up on this collar that was clearly too tight. She'd had it on for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was alarming. Jay thought that she had something wrapped when we first saw it. She thought
somebody
something
had
wrapped around her
tied, like
neck. And it was so tight you could barely turn the collar.
and it was all frilled as if she had like been frayed, as if she had been like scratching at it or something, or old. I don't know.
I'm just going to ask her, is there anything else that we need to know about came from before that would be helpful for us to know today? I'm hearing two words, and I just have to go with them: disregarded and discarded.
Dumped.
And all I see is a horse with blinders on and the words moving forward. Moving forward. She's not showing me any interest in what's back there. She is showing me what's ahead.
Yeah.
And I get it. I understand your reluctance for, your reluctance. There's that word again. You're like, oh, what would happen if? She is showing me completely moving forward. I see nothing back there.
Yep. And I hear it in words. So.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's just trust that you guys were guided. Here's the thing. I don't believe in coincidence either. There is no such thing as coincidence. There's the big plan above our pay grade all going on, and we think we have all this control, but really all we have control of is what we do with what we experience. So there's where our free will comes in. So you were never not going to go down that road that day, right? The part of it that is really cool is you thinking you were choosing truly with free will, but really you were being guided along a path that was already planned so that you would collide with little Miss Annabelle the way that it was designed so that you could get to her with Oliver Twist's help and spirit.
I feel like what's so crazy is that we feel the same way. Like we don't believe in coincidence either. The history of our lives, like looking back, there's always a reason for everything. We believe that everything happens for a reason. There's, no coincidences. But this one is so loud that it's like, whoa, like maybe
and it's hard to go through right after the death of our boys. It's just very,
We were
very,
not looking to get a new
Exactly.
kid. Didn't even
Exactly.
like,
in mind at all.
Right.
Like,
Right.
No.
not in mind at all.
No.
And that's the reason it had to be loud.
Yeah.
That's the reason that the signs have to be so evident.
Mm-hmm.
You said out loud or to each other in your own heads, not to me, if she crosses her paws.
Right.
I mean,
to each other.
Right.
that's what we do as humans, though. We say, now give me this sign. And if I get, oh, well, you gave it to me, but is it really real? Give it to me again. And that's when you get the cosmic 2x4, right?
Cosmic 2x4.
This feeling is.
We usually call it I think I can say this on your show. We usually call it the bitch slap from the universe.
Right.
If you're not listening, the universe is
Mhm.
going to keep at you until you hear
Right.
it, right?
Yes.
So
yes.
that's why I love that you said this is loud,
Right.
Yes.
because
It's
that's
so,
the only way you'd believe it. You wouldn't want this already, but here it is.
Right.
yeah. Yeah.
Right.
And I feel so like from the moment that I first thought for a second, what if she doesn't have a home? What if nobody claims her? Of course we're going to keep her. Like, we're not going to take her to a shelter or something. So of course that would happen. But
Jay said Sunday night, this is how Jay's thinking. I'm like, oh God, what
We
if-
found her
what did
Sunday
we just get
afternoon.
ourselves into? Is she safe
Good
in the
morning.
shop, or she's got whatever, all the like pragmatic things. And Jay's like, and we are going to go to the vet and get her scanned for a microchip. And she's already like, so if she doesn't have a microchip, we're going to go ahead and get her a snap test. And then if she's doesn't have a chip and no one claims her, that we're in like 5 hours into what are we going to do? Well, we're going to keep her. Like, she's just having the whole conversation with herself. I'm like, just let me know when okay.
When you catch up, right?
Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there anything else? I mean, I'm trying to think of the questions, and I also want to tell you guys a few more things. But is there anything else? I'm trying to we got.
Is she a young? I saw Pam ask a question. I think this is interesting because Oliver Twist is definitely a very old soul.
Yeah.
I think let us know he's a very old soul. Is Annie a young soul? Is there? No.
I don't. Okay, so the way that she comes through to me is, and I'm gonna go back and ask her again, Annie, are you explain your soul path? So what I feel from her is she's been in existence as a soul for a very long time. Becoming a cat. This experience of becoming a cat may be a newer experience for her. It doesn't mean she's been a cat many, many, many times. But she has been a soul for a very long time. And it's almost like this, that's what I'm saying. She came through as this pure radiating light that was dropped for a purpose into this little cat body. And honestly, to get to you guys so that she'd be ready. It's like they knew as Oliver Twist is kind of declining, it's kind of getting closer and closer with where she was going to be ending up under that tree. This is what's happening above us, separate from us, so that as he leaves, he can help guide, orchestrate your path the way that you're divinely supposed to. Because if he was still in your life, and this is the part he wants you to know, his timing of passing was divine timing, as all of our passing times are divine timing. They are meant to be what they are meant to be. And for so many more reasons and layers than we can comprehend. So part of his divine timing was if he hadn't gone when he had gone, you wouldn't have been in a position to have to take the day off and go on that bike ride so that you would run into her. There are so many reasons why things happen the way that they do. So it's not just, so this is what I want to elaborate on it. Meredith, I would love for you to call in Oliver Twist as well on this topic, if you don't mind, because he wants to say, I didn't just die of grief. Grief, what may have been a piece of the catalyst into my aging process to help me get to my divine timing of leaving. But I didn't die of grief. I passed out of my body at the divine exact right timing, having completed what I was supposed to complete for you guys, so that I could then do the work I need to do now in spirit for you. Because as we all know, he's like this massive sage of energy.
Yeah.
So from his perspective, completion of what he needed to do in the body so that he could continue to kind of guide you guys outside the body, including to Annie Bell.
Oh,
She's bawling.
jeez.
Yeah.
So he wanted to not correct, but enlighten you to there's more to it than just the grief. Yes, he was sad that he was very sad about Pooh Bear, but he also knew he wasn't leaving until after Pooh Bear. He's always known he wasn't leaving you until after Pooh Bear.
But there's also a little that he's showing me about the timing, the spacing of that.
Mm-hmm.
He knew he was declining.
Mm-hmm.
He had a long, wonderful, happy life. And look how much he taught you. He didn't want that to be like bam, bam, right with Pooh Bear, but also not give you X amount of time so that you're coming out of your grief. And now you're going back into it.
Right.
Not that he was trying to hit you with a double whammy or anything, but
he did.
But you're here, you're learning this process. Let's go ahead and work through it, all of us, and not you and Pooh Bear, and not you and Twist.
Mm-hmm.
Let's ride this wave without going all the way down into the trough more than once.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And just to answer somebody's question in this, somebody's asking, was her soul the shooting star? No, the shooting star was Pooh Bear.
Yeah.
When he passed. That was his sign, right? He look at it this way. Did his soul orchestrate a shooting star? That's 3D human concept of what's actually happening. But is his soul in alignment with the passing at the right time so that the shooting star crosses over you guys, so that you think of him and realize how special he was and that this is divine timing? Yes. Right? So his orchestration of even the timing of his death so that you would collide with the shooting star is part of like the plan.
On Winnie the Pooh, National Winnie the Pooh.
Right. So all of that means something, it's
again loud
coming together. Yes.
Yeah. Again, loud.
Yeah.
Y'all, I just feel like she's gonna make you laugh so hard.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's just
Yeah.
Old soul, young soul.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know, but she's got a lot of experience under her belt, but she's also sort of in training.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm seeing a blooper reel, like the server with the tray, and she stumbles and the tea falls down the back of the client that's sitting at the table. That, the runway model falling off the runway, the roller skater, but doing whatever. There are going to be moments, but where she's lying on her back going, oh my God, that was hilarious. Did you see that? Rather than, I can't believe that just happened to me. I just think there are going to be lots of awkward teenage figuring out how to work these big ski feet moments that are going to bring you so much joy and so much laughter that is part of moving with, not through, because we all know there's not an other side to grief, but moving with and growing with the grief of both Pooh Bear and Twist.
Mm-hmm.
And she's going to use her humor to get you through that.
Wow.
She's hilarious to me. She's just hilarious, sweet and darling and precious and all those little things, but hilarious.
Oh, we're going to have two comedians in this house, two comedian cats. That's amazing. So can I tell you guys a little bit about what, and I think everybody will be very interested in. Actually, I'd love to ask you guys about this.
Sure.
So the day that Oliver Twist transitioned, it was scheduled, right? We called Lap of Love. We had a veterinarian come to the house so that this wasn't a traumatic type event. Friday and Jack sat all morning long in honor of, like, on either side of Oliver Twist as he laid there. They sat with him all morning long. Like, literally, we were like, they know what's going on. They have to know what's happening right now. They sat there with him the whole time. Friday was the first
All
one
day.
to go all day. Friday was the first one to go into Annie's room, right? And we didn't know that she was in there.
She was sneaky.
She
We
was
didn't know
sneaky.
that she had
So
snuck in.
we had brought Annie into my office so I could vacuum and clean the room because my sister's coming and should be here any moment. And that's the only guest room we have. So she's staying with Annie. But I was vacuuming up the room, and the cats, I was cleaning the room, and the cats were all in there because they wanted to smell all of Annie's smells and all the stuff and things. And so we let them. And then I brought in the vacuum, which brings everybody just jets out, right? So I was like, we're good. I vacuumed last. Let's bring her back in. We brought her back in, shut the door. Lo and behold, Friday had snuck under the bed and was hiding there. And so Annie went straight to Friday, and we were like,
She went under the bed, and I looked down, and they are just nose to nose. Like they've been friends forever.
No puffy tail,
Just
no
like-
hissing, no, like I've never seen an introduction with cats like this where it was like they already knew each other.
Yeah.
And they
super comfortable.
They
Like,
were
just-
both comfortable. Like Annie was a little like curious and wanted to like play with Friday's tail a little.
And Friday was
but-
just twitching it at her. Like she knew that was just fun for her. So they were just like,
And
what?
then Friday just jumped up, and that's the video that you probably saw of
Yeah.
Friday in the room. Is Friday jumped up on her carrier and looks out the window, and it's just kind of like, yes, little one. Like, nothing. Like there wasn't like like we had that, oh shit moment of there's going to be a cat biter or something. Like what's going to happen?
Because
and there's
Friday can be
nothing.
spicy.
The day later or a couple days later, Jack runs in the room. When we open the door, he just runs in the room. We were
Didn't
both
see
in
him
there.
coming.
So we were like, well, we didn't see him coming. So we were like, okay, let's see what happens here.
Jack and
Exactly
Annie.
the same, except for Jack was just like nose to nose. Hey girl, what's up? I want to check all your stuff. Let me go check out your stuff and see your stuff and things and tell you what I
This
think
is a
about
cool
it.
toy.
Yeah, I like this. And like literally did not care that there was a kitten that they had never met in the room. Like, and Zorro took several days to even be interested. It was like he was holding space, is what you said, or something. It was like he was, or
He spent a
as
lot
an
of time just by
emissary.
himself and just like quiet. We were both like, is he feeling okay? Is
Yeah,
he-
I started
he
getting
wanted to
worried
stay
that he
in
wasn't
his
feeling well or something.
stroller. But I
He
do
came in?
remember that when we talked to Oliver Twist with you, Karen, that Friday and Zorro are Oliver's emissaries, right? Like
Right.
his little
Yeah.
diplomats.
Look
here,
up that word.
Right. And that he will be holding space for Oliver, that sometimes we'll notice certain things where he's just
In a
extra-
trance, like
yeah,
ish.
almost.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
that's
He was
what
for-
we're doing for
yeah.
the first couple days.
For a few days.
Mhm.
And then he went in there. We invited him in there actually to see how he would do. And it was, again, the same thing. He was like,
Just
hi,
absolutely.
and I'm just going to get up in your, and stare at you and look at you and watch you and look at you and watch you, but no puffy tail, no hissing, no anything. It is like they know each other. Now we're still keeping them separate because she needs to get spayed and she's scared to leave the room. So we bought this like mesh temporary door, like temporary screen door that we're going to put up so that she can see out, and we're going to go through the steps of introduction still.
Well, because we're going to do this at the pace of our Madison
Of
Grace.
Madison Grace.
I was
Yeah.
going to say she's going to be the one.
Yeah.
She's
Yes.
the one to forge this is what Oliver Twist is showing me. Like, take the time to forge the relationship between Annie Bell and Madison, because Madison needs somebody to allow her to have the confidence to come forward and become friends with and not feel usurped.
Yeah.
Usurped. Such big words.
Yeah, I know. I think he gives me big words.
He's a big soul.
Yeah. So yeah, to be aware of the relationship between Annie and Madison,
Yeah.
and all will be fine.
It's going to be beautiful. Madison is,
Yeah.
we did a chakra cleanse with Julianne
Yeah.
Thorne, Naturally Cats. Some of that stuff is just,
Crazy.
I
Right.
love her. She's
Yeah.
did it for me for Noche too. It's amazing.
oh my God.
Some,
it's been
like,
since,
Yeah, a few of the Friday. I don't
Last
remember
week.
what day it was, but
And it's my
a
fault.
few of the things that she said was that she wanted the rose quartz. And Adrian just so happened to remember when we very first started our company, Two Crazy Cat Ladies, the first year, 2015. We had we were selling our supplements, the few that we had at that time. And we had 3 customers a month or something, and the local ones, we were like free local delivery. And so Adrian actually drove to somebody's house to
their apartment.
to their apartment to give them the supplements that they purchased and help her with her cat. That her cat was very sick, and she felt she gave her in 2015 gave her a rose quartz and
a heart shape.
Oh, nice.
And Madison specifically said
that's what she wanted.
She wanted heart and
hearts and all this pink, and I don't even know. I've never seen so much pink in my life. I love our Madison Gray so much, but I'm like, are you serious? I've never had a little girly girl before.
Girly girl.
Yeah.
From 2000, I knew exactly where that quartz, because I love rocks. I love me some rocks.
Yeah.
Crystals, I guess. I went and got that for her, and I gave it to her, and she literally just put her paw on it. Whenever I would bring it to her, like in the closet, one of her safe spaces, I put it on a pair of pants that were next to her, and she got up and she laid on it. Like, it's crazy how much is happening right now with Madison. So we are definitely taking this at Madison's pace. I mean, we're being present with all of our people, but definitely going to take
tomorrow's their birthday.
Actual,
And I just want you guys to know, I don't know if you got this too, Meredith, but when they were going in to meet Annie, Oliver Twist is actually holding the space. So when they recognized Annie, they were recognizing a frequency they already knew.
That's what it feels like.
Because it was like, they were like, oh, this is familiar. And it's very much like a recognition of the energy of Oliver Twist is around her. So it makes they seem like it's very familiar to them.
It's
never had an introduction like this before.
Yeah.
But that is what it feels like.
Never.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that it's not because she has the same tail as Oliver Twist. Cats don't work like that. But they
Twist mine.
Yeah.
They definitely we've never seen anything.
Yeah.
Like they just have known each other. Like, what is the deal? Why are you closing the door? Even Annie is just, she's like, you can see her like little curiosity, but she's not
herself.
Right.
Yeah, she's not freaked out or worried that they're checking out her stuff. It's very interesting.
It's such a beautiful thing.
I cannot believe we're almost out of time.
I know, it's crazy how fast this went.
I know. I feel like we're gonna have 77 other questions.
I'm so grateful for you gals and for doing this with us and for us. And I'm so grateful for everybody that's been following this story. I saw a lot of people asking, where can I get in touch with these beautiful ladies? The links to their websites are in the description here. So if you guys are interested in booking a session with them, or communicating with your animals, or learning more about everything that they do, the links are in the description. Please do that. They have been just like a healing energy for us in so many ways.
And so many of you as well. We know what you do is a gift. And speaking of your gift, and talking a little bit about the ACC, and that's your fundraising arm of what you do. Fundraising for charities, and you guys have a beautiful event this weekend as well, which is April 2nd. I think it's Sunday, right?
Yes. Meredith, do you want to talk a little bit about that? I'll be your backup singer.
Sure. So we do, quick summary, we do these online virtual fundraisers for 501c3 shelters and rescues. And we do little mini animal communication readings, little 8-minute versions of this for people in attendance who have bought tickets. 100% of the proceeds go to whatever organization we're working with. We do have an event coming up this Sunday evening for one of our dear, dear friends and partners. It's an organization called Nika Love, and they do rescue and are actually building shelter, boots on the ground in Nicaragua. And so we're super, super looking forward to doing that. There are still some tickets available. Karen, you can give some information about how to get there and do that. And we have several coming up. If we'd love to see you join at some of these. You may have the opportunity to get a reading or win a raffle for a free half-hour reading with one of us. Lots of great opportunities to be supportive of animals in need.
Yeah, and we actually put the link to this event also in the description. So if you guys are interested in becoming a part of, and I can tell you, having been a part of so this is how we met, being a part of these beautiful events that they put on for, and they volunteer 100% of their time. They volunteer just for charity, just to help these different rescues. It's so amazing, and
it's a powerful thing.
You will leave feeling uplifted and
you'll leave feeling all the feels.
All the feels. There you go. all the feels. So you guys can click the link in the description to get tickets and become a part of this amazing event. So
yes.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much. We're so thrilled to be here. It was thank you everybody for coming and supporting and holding space for us tonight. And we love you all, and we will see you again soon.
We love working with you ladies and with your precious babies. Thank you so much for inviting us to come and talk to this one.
You guys are so beautiful. Everyone here is so beautiful. We're
obviously going to have to do this again sometime.
Yeah.
But I have to say thank you, especially. We were feeling so nervous beforehand, and I realized I think I was feeling nervous just because I haven't yet gotten to that place where it's like, okay, I'm ready to move forward with this. And I feel like today is that day. Thank you.
Oh, yay.
I love you guys so much.
Yay, she's home.
She's home.
She's home.
Welcome home, Annie Bell.
Welcome,
Olivia.
Bell.
And thank you to this beautiful community for being here with us today. This is such a special experience.
Yes.
Karen and Meredith, thank you guys so much. We will be seeing you guys very soon.
Yes.
We love you guys.
We love you guys. Have a good night.
Bye, everybody.